Let's do it. Welcome to Pause Please, people, friends, listeners. We're talking all things midlife, menopause, and the mundane. And Rachel, what were you like in the 80s and 90s?
Oh dear, I was a scrawny little dark-haired child. I
Whoa.
loved being outside. Well, mainly because I got thrown out there, right? You weren't allowed to be inside and playing, right? I wanted to play with my tea sets and my dolls, and nope, the boys are outside. You got to go outside too. We didn't grow up necessarily so much. You played until the street light came on, but pretty close. Dinner time was pretty much at dusk, and it may seem a little more light still out, but you were out there from the morning you get up in the morning and roll out of bed, throw on some clothes, not your good clothes, but your play clothes. And then you were
I
you
had
were
play
forced to
clothes
be
as well.
outside. I just found it funny. Easter's approaching here pretty soon, and it made me think back. And what really did the retro thing for me was there was a meme, of course, popping up. Everything right now is about how were you in the 90s? A picture of Kmart came up and it threw me back. And around Easter time, and usually early February, March, the Easter dresses would come out. We didn't really have the means to buy everything up front. What did we do? We did layaway. And in layaway time, you got your Easter clothes, your clothes to go and change into afterwards, which is usually, a nice little short set or something. And then you got
Uh-huh.
all of your spring clothes, and all of that was pushed onto layaway, but you made sure it was out in time for Easter so that you would have your nice little Easter dress or outfit for the boys. And then you had your change of clothes to go into afterwards. And as a family growing up, we are a huge family. So that meant going to see all of the cousins, aunts, and uncles, big barbecue, a big Easter egg hunt. As time goes on, everybody grows up. You start to realize the glue of that family was your grandparents. When the grandparents start to pass on, the aunts and uncles kind of start having their own traditions. And so you may not see your cousins as much anymore. And we've tried to keep that tradition in the family, but it's just very hard because everybody now is in their own kind of traditions. And we're even to the point where we're like, what do we do on our own? So that whole reminiscing of, what it was like as a child, it can't seem to just disappear from you, right? It sticks with you forever. So those were kind of my little memories. Kmart, of course, blue light special. Attention shoppers.
You touched on Easter dresses. I grew up with a sister. We had matching Easter dresses typically, and my mom typically sewed them. I don't know if you guys had the same,
Did you go to
but
what
I
was
can
it,
think of,
McCall's, and you got the little,
yes, we'd go to the fabric store,
yes.
pick out a pattern, and my mom would have to make sure it came in both sizes. And my mom was a really good seamstress. I didn't understand then. And I never thought it was like, oh, my mom's making me something. That never bothered me really, I guess. But I mean, these dresses were, remember when it wasn't necessarily a balloon skirt, but remember when it was popular to have the elastic around the waist and you like puffed it up over the waist? That
Yes,
was one of, I
yes.
Yes,
distinctly
I do
remember
remember. Right.
that Easter dress. That's funny. Um,
Did you do the
I
ruffle
was
socks to
telling
match?
Yes, with
absolutely.
the
And the
patent leather
little
shoes.
white.
The patent leather
Yes.
shoes.
Yes. Sheila, you might remember this. Nordstrom's was a big high-end
Mm-hmm.
store out on the West Coast. And one of my two grandmothers, I distinctly remember, they would come to visit, and we would always go out and buy a new pair black patent leather shoes only from Nordstrom's. It was like a big kid fancy date, but I was young, but that's where we would buy them. Or sometimes Stride Right. Do you remember Stride Right?
Yes. In fact, one of my first jobs was at Stride Rite.
So
And
funny.
another core memory with Nordstrom is that that's where our girls learned to tie their shoes. They were having a workshop in the kids'
Yes.
shoe department. And of course, it
Yes.
was to bring parents over there. So Brian took them. They learned how to tie their shoes and they got a certificate.
Oh my God, I love that.
See, Nordstrom's is a core memory for those of us from the West Coast. Remember when I told you about their boxes and their bows for
That's
gifts?
right.
Like you knew it was from Nordstrom's.
Hmm.
And then I do remember the shoe department. Rachel, they just had this. whole children's section. I can't even describe it. I see it in my head, but it was just this humongous children's section. Always had saltwater sandals. We got our saltwater sandals there every summer. Did you guys
All
have those?
right.
I got what is a saltwater sandal?
Oh my gosh. It's just a summer sandal, but it was a brand and they were
Oh, okay.
flat leather sandals and they like crisscrossed and they had a little buckle and you could get them. They started, I think, probably in just white or brown, but eventually they were in pink and blue and like you could get any color. It was a very big deal. A very big deal
Okay.
growing up. I found this reel that I was watching that has sparked a lot of good memories. Two keys to get into the car. Do you remember how you'd have to unlock the car and
Yes.
then the
Yes.
ignition key?
Uh-huh.
I don't think our kids would know it. Did you have a alarm clock? Do you remember those big ones? They were like Casio or GE or something. They were brown.
Right.
Yes.
That they
They
would
had
use in
all
the
these
hotel rooms.
buttons on them. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't know what all the
Yes.
buttons were for.
I would get in trouble because my mom and dad had one in their room, and I would just go in there and start pushing buttons. And then I'd get in trouble because I messed up their alarm for the next morning. My oopsie. But
Rachel.
I was curious. Oh, that's a lot of buttons. Come on.
What about I've been doing a lot of TV watching, and sometimes at night, what TV shows do you remember? I've been watching reruns of The Cosby Show and like
Yes.
laughing so hard. It's even funnier now that we're parents. Hilarious. I caught one, and I like distinctly remember some of the episodes, and I caught a rerun that I really did remember of when like Vanessa and her girlfriends wanted to go to a concert or something, and so they came downstairs in these skimpy clothes. Oh my word, so funny,
And then she
so
goes and
funny.
pulls the
So
tissue out from there.
yes, that is the one. That is the one.
Yeah, I remember shows like Family Ties. We would
Oh.
watch that all the time. Or what's the one with the Seavers?
Oh, Growing Pains. That's
Yes,
where
Growing
Mr.
Pains.
Leonardo DiCaprio made his appearance. It's like, oh my God, what a cutie. He was in the later seasons, but I remember that. And that flowy hair of his.
What else I remember, not just the TV shows, but some of the movies that were out there during the 80s and 90s included things like Goonies and Ferris
Yes.
Bueller's Day Off. Those are classics to me, and my kids actually have watched those and they've really enjoyed it to this day. We watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off like all the time.
I love that. Anything that had Molly Ringwald in it. 16 Candles, Pretty in Pink,
Yes. Uh-huh.
um,
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Very, very good classic. What was the other one? Weird Science. I love that one.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's what we did. Those were our Friday nights. And every time something pops up on TV or something, I was like, hey, you remember that? And my kids are like, what? It's like, oh my God, I failed you as a parent. I did not show this to you.
Do they not watch those or have they not watched them at all?
I've introduced them and they just lose interest. We were talking about Urban Cowboy once, and I said, yeah, John Travolta. And they're like, the dude? I was like, yes. Of course, now he's all bald and everything. So, but can you imagine that? His head was like full of his gorgeous hair.
Sure, sure.
And then they were just like, no.
Oh my goodness. And I know that there have been so many movies, but all the Star Wars films, I do remember Empire Strikes Back. I'm looking at it right now, and that came out in 1980. And then Return of the Jedi. Those hold a special memory for me because I remember my dad would want to watch those shows. And so, or not shows, but movies.
Movies, yes.
And it was
I,
always a fun time or a treat to go to the movies.
yes. Yeah, it's not like that was something you did every weekend. It was something special.
Right.
And you had to save up for it, or at least in my household, we did. I don't think I got to go to a movie. I know I was 7. I went to see Bambi in the
Mm-hmm.
theater, and I think that was only because it was a field trip. And I don't
Oh,
remember ever going back to a theater until maybe my teenage years. That was uncommon. We didn't go to the movies. I
mm-hmm.
didn't really know what a movie theater was probably until I was maybe in my preteen years, because I well, did we have birthday? I don't think we had birthday parties at the movie theaters. We had birthday parties at the skating rink, you know,
Oh yeah, or at Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese, yes, or we
Mm-hmm.
had a Showbiz Pizza, And I remember being so terrified of a stupid mechanical bear.
Yeah. Oh, oh no. Did it did it scare you or annoy you?
I think it scared me more. I think it was something that was just it caught me off guard because I think my back was turned to it, and then all of a sudden this little band started playing,
Oh no.
and you see these things just moving, and you're like, "What's going on?"
Yes, right. Those, what do they call it? Animatronics. And then
Yeah.
even though the music is playing, you can still hear the machinery behind it, like
Yeah.
this
And then the
weird
eyes would just like be
sound.
moving, and you're like, "What is going
I know,
on?"
so strange. But we had so many birthday parties at places like that.
Yes. And
And
I had a lot of cousins. So remember, that was a lot of birthday parties that we would go to.
oh, for sure. Oh, for
But even
sure.
that was a luxury. You were lucky if you had a birthday party at an establishment, at, a
Yeah,
pizza
yeah, you're
place.
right. Or
All
like
of
you said,
those.
the roller rink. I remember having, or being invited to a birthday party at the roller rink. That was a good time. Before,
Yes.
it seems like roller rinks now are creepy. They're so dark and all sticky and weird. Maybe I've been watching too many shows on TV where the killers are looking for their victims at roller rinks. I gotta stop watching those
Stop
shows.
watching Stranger Things. It wasn't like that.
Golly, man. Or the bowling alley. Those were popular.
Yeah. Yeah, I think well, I never did. I don't know. I think I tried to get the kids to do one year, and they're like, "No." Yeah, but most of our birthday parties were at home in the backyard or
Okay, so special occasions like your birthdays and gatherings, do you particularly remember any foods that you had? What were some of the staples of that time?
oh wow. Besides the birthday cakes, let's see.
Or or candies? Like I remember a lot of pizza and spaghetti, particularly Pizza Hut. Was Pizza Hut a big deal
Yes. Well,
in this
Pizza Hut was
area?
big when we had Book It. Do you remember Book It?
Book it. No, no, what's
So
book it?
Book It was a program through school, and you had to read certain number of books or whatever. And for every milestone you hit, you get a button, and it says Book It on it, and there
Mm-hmm.
were little stars. So every milestone you hit, you got to go into Pizza Hut and give them your little log, and they put a star on your button. When your button was full, and I think it was like five or six, so maybe they were, I mean, I couldn't put an equation to it, but I'm going to say maybe a week's worth of reading with
Yeah,
every
yeah.
star. Because at the end, you turned in your button, and then you got a free personal pan pizza. And that was your reward for reading for
Mm-hmm.
whatever time it was. So Book It was a really big thing here. And I don't know, again, if it was, well, if you don't know, then maybe it was just a Texas thing. We jokingly, the kids that I grew up with were like, maybe Book It back just as an adult, right? Because I read now.
Yeah. Hey, we had
Reward
those.
me.
Yeah, I love that idea. We had those incentive programs too. I don't, maybe it was Book It. I just don't remember. But you would have to read a certain amount of books, like you said, and then you'd take it to a place like Pizza Hut to get personal size reward. That was a great incentive.
Yeah, the candy
Uh-huh.
thing. I think back about, you remember the necklaces and the little bracelets you would have, and you think you'd be all
Mm-hmm.
dolled up, and then all of a sudden you're chewing on your hand or you're chewing on your necklace. And it was
That's great.
elastic, so if you kept stringing it too much, it would bust,
Yeah,
and
I
then candy would be
know.
everywhere.
I was probably one of those kids that had the accident with all the pieces of candy falling to the ground.
Oh, I'd probably pick it up and eat it, knowing me. It's just a little dirt, it's all right.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's
It's good
fine.
for your immune system, right? Remember Pixie Sticks?
I do remember Pixie Sticks.
And now I'm
Yes.
looking back, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of sugar we took in as kids.
Oh, oh,
Slice,
for
slice, slice.
sure. Well, Pop Rocks.
Yes.
Wasn't Pop Rocks during that time
Pop
too?
Pop Rock was a big thing. I
Uh,
remember the boys being
hmm.
pretty, mischievous. Let's put the Pop Rocks inside of our sodas and start. I was like, do you know what you're doing
Okay, that reminds me of the Mentos.
with the Coke?
Mm-hmm. I know.
Uh,
All the silly things that we did with candies.
but it was designed as jewelry, a ring pop. You know,
Yeah, the ring pops. Those are still pretty popular now. Well,
those are very popular,
mm-hmm,
especially at the ball games. I remember, well, actually, just even my son going through travel ball. And then once they're done with their games, they were all rushing up to the concession stand. And they ring pops back then were less than a dime, right?
oh,
They
geez,
they
yeah.
charge like 50 cents to a dollar now for one ring pop because they don't
Oh,
want to break
man.
change. I'm like, are you serious? We'll
Well,
sell you two for a dollar because you just want my dollar. Okay.
oh, no kidding. Well, I remember ring pops and then the ice cream truck. I
Yes.
remember a lot of that growing up, and you would get all sorts of candy from the ice cream truck too.
We weren't allowed to get candy. So if you were going to get the ice cream truck, you were only allowed to get the ice cream. And then sometimes you were only allowed a dollar. And sometimes things were more than a dollar. So you would
Mm-hmm.
try to save as much money as you could. And back then, dads would sleep on the couch and loose change would fall into the cushion. So that's where you found your extra change. And then all of a sudden you had a little spare over here. So when the ice cream truck came, you had a little more and then I love the Tweety Bird because I
Tweety Bird.
Tweety Bird was yellow ice
Uh-huh.
cream and he had two blue gumball eyes.
Oh, that would always stain your
Yeah,
lips
well,
and
yeah, because
mouth.
you'd be blue by the bomb pop was
Yeah, that was really popular. Mm-hmm. Right. Those were the
uh
red, white, and blue, like missile
yes,
pops. I think
yes.
we called them missile pops.
They were bomb pops here.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was another ice cream. It was like in a cone, but at the bottom of that cone was another gumball. But it was like sherbet ice cream. So you were
Okay.
constantly trying to eat just so you could get to and sometimes I didn't even want the ice cream. I was just like digging it out just so that I could get to the gumball. Again, the amount of sugar we took as kids.
Oh, oh, sure.
I can't remember the last time I saw or even heard an ice cream truck. I don't even know if they still exist.
Yeah, now they're food trucks specializing in different things.
But you'd hear the it's like, oh, it's straight away. You can go get
Uh-huh.
your
Uh-huh.
money. And when it did come by, and if you didn't have any money that day, you'd be like, oh, and start throwing a fit, and your mom and dad looking at you like, well, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Gotta save those pennies.
It was a special treat when you did have it. So yeah, I do. I think about all of that stuff growing up and our childhood homes and how we did it as a growing family. And you
Mm-hmm.
look back and look at it now, and you're like, you're talking about 12 to 1,500 square feet of home,
Mm-hmm.
one, maybe two bathrooms growing up. You were lucky if
Right.
you had a second bathroom,
One
but if
phone.
one phone, family of five.
Awesome. Oh, we forgot about all the catchphrases too. Awesome. Totally rad.
You got it, dude.
I love that this conversation grew from you reminiscing about your family, reminiscing about the good old days, and looking forward to the future and whatever that may look like. So, we're going to have more new core memories, and it's not going to be memories of the 80s and 90s anymore. It's going to be memories of the 30s, 2030s, or
Oh
whatever
my
it
gosh.
is. That's wild, isn't
That
it?
doesn't even seem, that can't roll off my tongue, right?
I know. And then the 80s are going to seem ancient.
Oh, according to my kids, they are ancient. So back in your
Oh,
dinosaur days,
goodness.
I'm like, oh my God, if I could punch you. There was a song about dinosaurs back then, by the way.
Mm. But
Open
it's
the door,
fun.
get on the floor, and
Yeah. Do the dinosaur.
dinosaur.
Yep. I love to reminisce. I think this is great. And I'm so glad that you brought it up because life is chaotic and we were running nonstop. And why shouldn't we laugh about these mundane things? Like I said, life gets busy, so busy, in fact, that Dana, while we were talking, had to jump off and take care of some work matters. So, as busy as life gets, please, folks, continue to find humor in the everyday. We're sharing memories about what the American life may be, but what are some things that are happening in your part of the world, in your region of the country? Because I imagine that it's a little different, and if it's the same, then that's awesome too.
Yes, so please drop us a note on our Instagram page That's at pause please, at PAUSEPLEAS3. We'd love to hear from you, and I really do enjoy any kind of feedback we get. Till then, pause please.